All right, guys, welcome to this video. And in this video, I'm going to share with you which one is better, cash or credit. I'm going to share with you the current cash credit situation here in Cancun. And I'm going to share with you the number one thing to watch out for, the biggest red flag, and how to prevent it. So first of all, I'm going to share with you just kind of the current situation. First of all, most small businesses only take cash. I'm gonna say only about 30 to 40% of small businesses take credit card. That's really annoying. But the good thing is most major companies do take credit card. So if it looks like a mom and pop, just know that there's a 30 to 40% chance they may not take credit card. The best thing to do when you walk in the door is just say, hey, do you guys take credit card? Most restaurants, I'm going to say probably 80% of restaurants, 70 to 80% of restaurants take credit card. But just so you know, a lot of small businesses still do not have a credit card situation. And like I said, I forgot to tell you, I've been in the Cancun area for about 4 months. That's everywhere from Cancun, Holbox, Isla Mujeres, Tulum. I'm currently in Playa del Carmen. It's pretty much the same throughout the area. Sometimes, a smaller town may not have very many credit card machines, and you will have to pay cash. So that is kind of annoying. And that actually takes us to our next part, is a lot of businesses do not have the right amount of change. It's so frustrating. I've even joked with my friends in the past and said that having 500 pesos is like having no money at all, because sometimes you go to a business and they don't even have change for 500 pesos. I went to a bar the other day and I gave them 200 pesos and she looked at me like I gave her $1,000 bill. Like, she's like, I don't know if I have change for that. I'm like, that's $10. Now, granted, they just opened up, so maybe they didn't. I mean, that's even more of a reason for them to have money in the till. Like, they should have change for 200 pesos. They ended up having change for 200 pesos, and that actually is going to lead to the last part of my video. So stick around for that. So they will sometimes, if it's like 42 pesos and you give them 200, sometimes they'll be like, they'll say, do you have 2 more pesos? And they'll give you change for the 40. They don't like to do round numbers sometimes. It's really annoying. I mean, they like to do round numbers sometimes, or most of the times. It's really annoying, but I should have my wallet. My wallet has a magnet on it. It's actually a money clip, and the magnet actually all the pesos here magnetized to it. So I brought it up from the States, not knowing that, and it's actually awesome. The only thing that doesn't stick for some reason are the 10 pesos. I don't know why, but the ones, the 2s and the 5s and the halves, those all stick to it. So if you have a magnet, or if you have a money clip with a magnet in it, you're doing yourself a favor, because all the smaller change sticks to that. So like I said, with the change, it is frustrating. A lot of small businesses don't have the right amount of change. It's very frustrating. I used to think they were lying to me. I'd be like, there's no way you don't have change. I'm like, all right, well, if you don't have change, I'm going to go. They're like, all right, bye. And that also leads to another point. Like, some of the people just don't care. Like, if they're regular employees, they just don't care. They'll just let you leave. Like, I was at Oxxo yesterday, and which, they weren't, that's not a mom and pop. It's a nationwide chain. And they didn't, it was a long story, but they didn't have the right change, and then the product was marked wrong, and then I thought it was marked wrong, but then it wasn't, and I was just like, all right, well, never mind, I'm just gonna go. And they're like, okay, bye. And I'm like, all right, well, that was easy. But anyways, just some of the people here don't care. The customer is not always right here. It's kind of funny, but it's still kind of sad, but whatever. So I'm going to share with you my personal experience with cash versus credit too. I actually pulled up a list of all my withdrawals, and what I mean withdrawals, with cash withdrawals, and then credit card transactions. Unfortunately, I didn't know most of my credit card transactions. There was only a few that I could remember the exact dollar amount. But I will tell you this, if you can pay with your credit card, pay with your credit card. Most of my credit card transactions were over 20, like one was like 21 pesos, only once, and that's 21 pesos per dollar. Just so you get, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But most of my transaction, only one cash withdrawal. minus my fees, because I added in the amount withdrawn plus the fees. When I factored that in, every single one but one was less than 20 pesos per dollar. So I was losing money on that. And also too, sometimes when you pay with a credit card, they will charge you an additional amount. But even then, you're still better off, because they may charge you 4% or 10% or whatever. I had one purchase. How much was it here? It was still better to purchase. Is at 21 pesos per dollar. So that was that was one of my highest purchases, and they charged me 50 pesos on top of the $50. So it ended up paying like whatever. I don't want to do the math in my head right now, but it was still a better transaction than any of the withdrawals I had. So pay the extra amount and just use your credit card if you can. It's gonna save you money in the long run. So that's the other side of the credit card debate. Sometimes they do charge you. For using your credit card instead of paying cash, but just do it. It's going to save you money. Brings us to our next topic, which is the scams to look out for, guys. There's really two primary scams that places will charge you, and I'm talking about mostly restaurants. I hadn't really experienced it in retail, but they'll charge you a different amount than what's stated on the menu. It's only happened to me like once or twice, and keep in mind I've been here for 4 months. So, but it does happen. So that's one thing so what is that? 98% of the time they're going to charge you the right amount. And like I said, it was at a restaurant, and it was at a bar. It was really annoying because I actually I'd been to that bar like 10 times, and they'd always got it right, but I had a different waiter this time. And so, maybe he thought he could make some extra money. And unfortunately, I paid it because I was just like, I didn't want to make a scene. I was trying to get out of there. I just wanted to go home. And it wasn't like that much money. It was a little bit more, but I was just like, whatever, man. And then and he actually did both red flags. He gave me the wrong amount of change back. And the number one thing to look out for if they're going to give you the wrong amount of change back is they keep the receipt. They have zero reason to keep the receipt unless they're doing something shady. And like I said, that's happened to me 3 times where they kept the receipt, and every time the change was wrong. So I have like this, I don't know what to call it. It's like Rain Man with numbers. Like, I'm really fast with numbers. So like if I look at change, I know exactly how much my change should be. And I even double check just in case, and I'm always right. But 2 other times that happened to me, and it was such an insignificant amount. I didn't say anything, and I was just like, I actually just let that be their tip. I was like, well, that's your tip. The 20 pesos you kept, that's your tip. But in this situation, he actually shorted me 100 pesos. And just to let you know, he charged me double for the beer price, which was only 50 pesos. So he charged 40, and he charged me 80. And I was like, whatever, man. But then when he gave me my change back, he shorted me 100 more pesos. I'm like, oh my God. So needless to say, I never went back there. And I was a pretty good customer for them. I mean, not like great customer, but I'd probably been there minimum 5 times, maybe as many as 10 times. And just because of that one guy, I never went back. And what's funny is I used to walk by there all the time, and I just went around. Now I don't even walk by there anymore because I was so annoyed by him. But those are the one things to look for, guys. Like I said, I've been here for 4 months. I've done well over 100 transactions. Those scams very rarely happen, but they do. Like I said, the keeping the receipt and giving the wrong change, that happened to me 3 times. So 3 out of 100, not bad. But it did happen. And but like I said, most of the people here are honest, trustworthy people. But just always keep your eye out, especially if you're missing a receipt. Like if you're missing a receipt, like there's no reason for them not to return your receipt. But guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button and also subscribe. I'm going to try posting more tips and tricks for you for visiting the Cancun area, Riviera Maya, whatever you want to call it. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video. Bye.